This video makes me very uncomfortable to record. Almost 3 years ago now, I came back from living in Mexico and I was having a bit of a crisis. So I did what most normal men do when they're having a crisis. I shaved my head and I went on a day trip with my mum and my sister, and we took a few photos and we were looking back on the photos, and my sister said something to me. "You're looking a bit haggard in that picture, aren't you, Jack?" And I remember looking at it and thinking, fuck, I am. That single moment led me on, a 2.5 year journey of absolutely obsessing over my skin and being incredibly insecure. From the moment I would get up to the moment I'd go to bed, I would just turn over in my head over and over and over again all these insecurities. This happened to coincide with a period in my life where it may not look like it, but I'm losing my hair. And I also had been recovering from a back injury for 2 years. So I just had all these ginormous insecurities about my physical appearance, and I couldn't do anything about it. I couldn't go to the gym to mitigate it by putting on loads of muscle and feeling good. I couldn't grow a beard to mitigate the fact that I was losing my hair, because as you'll see if you look back at my previous videos, I'm fucking shocking at growing a beard. And as much as you can slather skincare on, once the damage is done, it's kind of done a lot of the time. I just had to sit with it for a long time, and it felt fucking pathetic, to be honest. When I looked back in my life, I realised that I'd been through this cycle before. When I was a teenager, I had something about my physical appearance that made me incredibly anxious and was probably the genesis of my OCD. And then when I was a bit younger, in my 20s, I had surgery, and I actually solved the physical thing for a brief moment, but it didn't solve the OCD mental pattern of thinking that had emerged from it. So what happened in my life was I kept on going through this pattern of, like, you'd fix one problem and then immediately you would find another thing to fixate on and to obsess about, and then you would go and you would try and fix that, and then you would get another one and another one and another one. And it took me a while to realise, fixing the thing externally isn't going to fix how I feel about myself internally. And so what this process has taught me about is not only insecurities, but it is the fundamental structure of the ego. And all the ego can do is desire and cling. That is the only two operations it has. When you don't have something, you desire it. When you do have something, you cling to it for fear of losing it. When you exist on this level of consciousness, your life is a never-ending series of problems to be solved. Oh, my skin's fucked, let's do loads of skincare. Oh, I'm feeling weak, let's go to the gym. Oh, I'm feeling lonely, let's jump on Bumble. But does it actually work long term? Because you go to the gym, but then what happens when you get injured? You get a bird, and then what happens when she leaves you? You go back to the exact same emotional home base that you were medicating with this tool. You're just constantly in this circle of, having a problem, needing to go and fix the problem, fixing the problem, another problem pops up, fixing that problem, another one, and then the problem number one becomes a problem again, and then you need to fix that again. Like, most people live their life going from that, trying to fix one thing. Right, I'll do the money, then I'll do the relationships, then I'll get my health, then I'll do this, then I'll do that. And when you exist in this ego state that's constantly frantically pushing or trying to get something, it is fundamentally anxiety inducing in your life. And so the question becomes, okay, what do you do about it? How do you solve your insecurities? How do you get away from these things? That you catch the patterns as they come up. Catch yourself going down that familiar pattern of, like, oh, look at these wrinkles in my skin. And it gives you the two paths. Path number one: obsess over it again. Let it ruin my day. Let it kill my energy. Let it consume my thoughts. Go on the subreddit related to the thing. Look up fucking weird diets that I could do that could potentially solve the thing. Find a forum of other people who are obsessed about this thing in an anxious way in order to maybe find the secret to solving my problem. I can do that. Or I can go down the other path and I can watch it come up. This pattern, this desire, this clinging. I see it and I'm like, oh, there it is. There's the ego. There it does its thing again. And you watch it and you watch it and it goes whew, and then you come back to the present moment. And what I can tell you is that there's a higher level of consciousness that allows you to rise above all this tinny fucking ego stuff. And what it does is it gives you distance where you can see how you've been acting out of this egoic lower state for years sometimes, and you look back and you think, who the fuck was that guy? As you click back into that feeling that you had when you were a kid of, like, oh, there's the joy, there's the lightness, there's the laughter. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what freedom feels like. So there are many ways to do this. It's a long process. Ayahuasca is one, meditation, open focus is one, rage heart, if you Google it, is the particular form of kind of nervous system meditation that I do. There are many ways to do it, but without the awareness of what your ego is doing and latching onto these insecurities of you, then you're never going to be able to dissolve them, rise above them, and realize that they're all meaningless anyway, because that feeling you want to get by trying to solve this thing in your life, you can click into in any moment. Hope that helps. Thank you.